Aside from your S or the broken works, like what other things are you working on? Like I know you mentioned you did the cover for your dad's book.
I have this ongoing project at home. I'm basically covering my entire wall with art that I've done over the years. And so far, I'm only putting up art that I actually enjoy and appreciate. Because, like 3 years ago, anything I draw, if I disliked it even a little, I'd crumble up and throw it away. So it became this like ongoing thing where my trash can would like become full in the course of like 2 days, you know. So the artwork I have right now is like 2 years old, and I've only have about 40 pictures up right now, and over half of them are actually pretty twisted,
Mm-hmm.
which is what I'm going for the t-shirt shop. So I may actually take artwork from the wall and put it on the shop, because I've actually already done that with the twisted contortionist looking one, and I actually have a like a little box of vitamins or something like that. It has a little happy skull face on it. Just I just doodled that on one day. It took like half an hour, and just yesterday I spent a good like 3 hours, like revamping it and making an actual design people can put on a mug or a cell phone case or something like that.
So you say you have a whole bunch of different pictures of artwork of your own artwork
Mm-hmm.
posted up on a wall.
Yep.
Which ones are your favorite ones?
Right now I have looks like a zombie-esque looking frog. Looks
Okay.
like he's doing like a leap of faith kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And he actually has a set of wings, so it actually kind of makes sense that he's making that jumping kind of pose. And I have one where it's like a demon-looking figure sitting on top of it's like the spikes on top of buildings, kind of like a lightning rod-esque kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically sitting on one of those, and in
Kind of like a gargoyle type of thing.
yeah, pretty
Okay.
much. Except he looks like very chill, and he's like sitting up there, except like around him are like these gothic-esque looking buildings that are like burning down. So it's just, I don't know, just like random stuff like that. My pictures that tell a story or depict a character. So those are the ones I'm trying to incorporate into, t-shirt designs or stuff like that. Something that people can look at and think, hey, what's this about? What's going on here?
Aside from that, you did the cover for your dad's book. You also did a design for your sister's shirt before her fight,
Mm-hmm.
her boxing match, and you said you designed 2 tattoos. Can you tell us about these things?
T-shirt design, I did exactly how she wanted it. She said she wanted like an Adam and Eve concept because her name's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted Eve taking a bite of an apple, and she wanted the name Troublemaker incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically how to go on. She said she wanted a tattoo of some sort. No, actually, she didn't want a tattoo. She just said she wanted a girl eating an apple with the name Troublemaker. So, after thinking long and hard, I'm like, okay, how can I make this as badass as possible? What can I do with this? So I decided to make the girl look like a 1950s pinup.
Okay.
And I gave her like a golden apple kind of thing. I gave a very interesting texture, very noticeable. And I've incorporated a tattoo. She didn't ask for it, but I did, of a snake on the arm.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of incorporate the, snake tempting Eve to eat the apple.
Yeah.
And then for Troublemaker, I basically added a banner around her torso. Because as I was drawing this, I realized I've only got the top half of her body. How the hell how can I incorporate this in a t-shirt design? I can't just crop off the top half of her body. It's like, I'll just stick a banner underneath.
Mm-hmm.
Troublemaker, see how that goes.
So it's like she's coming out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah. What'd you do for your dad's book cover?
It's actually a pretty funny story. I was teaching my niece, who's also an aspiring artist. She's always looked up to me, asking me, can I borrow how to draw books? Can you teach me how to draw this or that? And one day I was teaching her, how to do a graphic design with the tablet.
Okay.
And I was saying one of the great things you can do is you can do something called rotoscoping. Just very easy. I only rotoscope very little, but when I do, I just make sure it's like very transformative, very different. Because rotoscoping is a little iffy in terms of copyright, because if you rotoscope to a point where the picture, you can still tell who it is. Like, if it was like Cameron Diaz, if you rotoscope her picture and you can still tell it's like Cameron Diaz, it's like just like the photo, then I can actually get sued for copyright.
So what exactly does rotoscoping do?
Rotoscoping is when you take an original photo and you basically paint over it with your own style. That's basically what it is. Like, you ever heard of Scanner Darkly,
Mm-hmm.
by chance? The whole film, that was a rotoscope.
Okay.
With every picture of every scene, they basically painted over it with their own style. So that's why they look like a, they look like paintings throughout the whole film. So I was showing my niece how to do this, and I just took a random picture of some random model, and I started outlining this, and I was like, see, this is how you do it. And I just kept going. She's like, oh, well, John, you have a turn? It's like, no, I'm onto something. It's like, let me do this. So sure enough, I, started out like looking like some like horse looking clown or something like that. It was the weirdest fucking thing. And then eventually, I came back to it. I'm like, hey, I can make this look better. It's been like 6 months later. I used the tablet a bit more and see what we can do with this. So, yeah, sure enough, I revamped it. I was like, hell, it's good enough to be a poster. I made a poster. My dad came down to my room at one point and said, John, I like what you did there. I want that to be the cover of my next book.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, okay, but I don't think it's that good. If you give me time, I can make a new one for you. It's like, no, I want that one. So it's like, okay. So I made that, and then I made the title for the book as well. And yeah, it's actually pretty slick looking. I like how it came out.
That's awesome. That's crazy how that came together.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about these tattoo designs? What were they?
Originally, I came up with one design based off an anime character called Medusa from Soul Eater. Like one of the most inspiring shows for me. It's so upside down, very, very different. But anyway, she has like a snake head on her shoulder, and basically vines around her arm like the body, and it's composed of like circles or dots or something like that. And it's for my brother-in-law Chris, who's asking me to do that for him. Make like a reinvented version of that. And I was trying to tell him, I was like, Chris, dots in your arm. I mean, it looks cool in a cartoon. In real life, it's gonna look like you have some like leprosy or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like it's not gonna look very appealing. He's like, nah. He's like, I want you to draw it for me anyway. See how it goes. Okay. So sure enough, I drew it for him on paper. I showed him what it would have looked like, on an arm. And then he looked at it. He was like, John, you're right. It's like not very appealing. He's like, I don't know if it's your drawing or my idea, but it just doesn't look good. He's like, so I told you, thanks for wasting, 15 minutes. But anyways, and then he came up, he was looking through other tattoo designs on his computer. He's like, can you make something like this? It's a picture of like a skull screaming or something like that. I was like, it's not very good. It's like, I can make it look better. So sure enough, I took that skull picture and I was just basically referencing that and made it look very sharp, very slick, and he ended up having that on his back calf. That's pretty cool. Yeah,
so those were the two designs you made, right?
Yeah.
Would you ever consider becoming a tattoo artist?
It's against my religion. I really can't.
Okay.
I mean, that was one exception because I got all excited with the idea of having, something I made on, it's a tattoo on someone else's body, be able to put, but in the end, that was a bad idea. I shouldn't have done that.